Coach Johnny, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to spend a little moment with you to kind of educate our individuals who are going for status as being a GREP. They want to know how to facilitate GOGI meetings. So I asked you to come so that you can kind of share some ideas about what is a circle group, what are the parameters, and your experience. You were one of the first that had kind of a unique ability to create this group when you were incarcerated. So first off, can you just give our students just a very brief overview about who you are and why you're doing GOGI?
So my name is Coach Johnny. One of the reasons I'm doing GOGI is because it contributes to my sobriety. I know that being of service is what keeps me sober, what keeps me out of prison, what keeps me married, father and grandfather. So service is what keeps me on track, reminds me that of my purpose.
And what is a circle group and what is the value? And then I'd like to ask you some questions about how, when you were incarcerated, you actually created a very unique way to do circle groups. So what is a circle group and what are their values?
So a circle group is made up of 12 GOGI students, whether you're the facilitator or always a student, whether you're a coach, you're a student. It's made up of 12 people who share the GOGI Life Tools, who do meetings together, and it allows for community. It allows for us to come together and be together and learn together and grow together.
So what happens if a group wants to meet but they only have like 6 people show up? Or what if they have 14 people show up? Is 12 members the only way they can do a circle group? Or how do you work that if there's an odd number?
So as long as you have 2 or more, it's considered a circle group. If you have more than 12, you just break it into groups. And you can also identify another night to have the meeting or have one right after that one. That was one of the things when we first started is we put up a sign-in sheet and it got filled in 5 minutes. And then people are signing on the side of it, on the bottom of it, on the top of it. And what we did was we ended up creating 2 groups and added those people who were not part of the first 12 to be part of the second group.
I think the groups that you and your team started were extremely unique. One, you were not getting credit for them from the institution. Is that correct?
Yeah, so for us, we knew that this was something that we needed. This was going to be part of our transformation, whether we got certificates, chronos, whatever. The real work needed to be done. And a piece of paper, like, if you happen to go to a board or appear in front of somebody for suitability, a piece of paper isn't going to get you out of prison. It's how you apply the tools that you learn through GOGI. It's how you can apply them for your future endeavors, identifying situations in your future that you'll be able to apply these tools. That's where the real transformation comes from, and that's where the real learnings come from. It's nice to have a piece of paper, but that's not what keeps us free.
So, because you manage our GOGI mailroom, you see the mail coming in, that GOGI does not give attendance credit for anything. We just aren't an attendance-based credit system. So when you would meet with the men in the housing units, you were not getting GOGI credits for attendance. Is that right?
Yeah, no, we didn't get GOGI credits at all. But like I said, it was just about being able to identify how can we help transform not just our life, but the culture of that prison. Like, what can we do to help people who wanted help?
Uh-huh.
So meeting and supporting them and encouraging and learning the tools was one way that we did that.
But so you were not getting GOGI credit for attendance, you weren't sending lists of people to GOGI, and you were doing this in the housing unit, so you weren't even getting institutional credit, were you?
No, we at the time, we didn't have institutional support. It was something me and a good friend of mine named Randy Ashton-Brenner created. So we'd be in the back of the day room on mop buckets and laundry carts, and some people sitting on the floor, just sharing space and time together and learning the tools as a community.
I think what I found so fascinating being on the receiving end of the letters, you guys and your group members would say is, we love GOGI, we love our peer circle group, we love meeting with this group of people. What else can we do? So at that point, GOGI was able to send either grant funded or sponsored or our free materials. And is that really what began the culture within that California prison at that time? Is that you really started it, really grassroots, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't just me. It was a community of people who wanted change in their life, who wanted transformation. And you provided a mechanism for us to begin that journey. And as we began that journey, we were able to identify different ways to be of service, not just to ourselves, but to GOGI. And one thing we did was a stamp drive, and we went door to door, and people didn't get credit, and people didn't get a certificate posted on their wall or in their C file or anything. It was just look, GOGI has done so much for us. They provided us an opportunity to learn tools that are invaluable. When you get out, these tools are going to come up daily, and you're going to find opportunities to practice these tools in your life. So we went door to door, and we asked for stamps, and I'm sure Coach still has pictures. I believe I still have pictures of just rows and rows and rows of stamps that we went cell to cell and asked for. And that was our way to contribute back to GOGI because they've done so much for us.
And do you think, Coach Johnny, that it was the circle groups that help unite that culture? What value did the circle groups have as you didn't have GOGI, you didn't have opportunities like that? What part did that circle group play in generating this hope that things could change?
I think one, it brought awareness. What are them guys in the back doing? Why is there people of every race and religion and creed and color back there? So people started asking questions what are you doing? And then as people would start practicing the tools in the moment, they would go to work and get into an argument, and there'd be other people who are in GOGI belly breathe, and they'd remind them you're the boss of your brain. So they would be able to support each other, and to be able to get support from other races and creeds and cultures and religions was something that was a little unprecedented at the time. It was something back then that people really didn't do. And it brought a community of people together who supported each other and be look, you can still make a choice, but I want to encourage you to make your best choice.
We send out free manuals to people, and we invite them to just start a circle group. How scary would it be if I was to receive this book from GOGI that says, start a circle group? How could you overcome the barrier of, well, I'm not trained. I don't even know to say it GOGI instead of GOGI, so it is a sense with some people that if they aren't trained, if they aren't an expert, they can't bring anything to the table. Can you talk to who is able to start a circle group, and how can they overcome the not being an expert at it?
Yeah, so I don't know if you're ever an expert unless you're Coach Taylor.
I don't know if I am.
So the thing is, something that helped me build and guide was finding somebody who had the same mindset, who wanted something different, who was looking for a possibility to be of service. That's where Randy came in. And we sat down and we put up a sign-in sheet in the day room. And you were
coaches at the time. And you hadn't done...
You didn't even know the tools.
You didn't even know the tools.
Yeah. But what we did, we had a willingness, and we had an open mind, and we had a commitment to make it work. And what happened was the communication with you in the mailroom at that time, being able to ask for support and get it, finding people who wanted to be a part of it. And one is just, we have an amazing manual that outlines the whole process. All you got to do is follow the manual.
And
we have a calendar. Yeah, and it's free.
It's free. They can anybody can write for it. Is that correct?
Yeah, you just write the mailroom, be hey, I would love to start meetings here. And can I get a manual? And I will contact Coach and she'll mail you the manual. And what we'll do is, we stick according to our calendar. And the importance of the calendar is that community is big. So no matter where you're at in the world, we just had a conversation today about somebody in Canada. And there are people in Canada and Africa and other countries who are practicing GOGI. So the amazing part of it,
they now are doing it regularly on calendar in Tijuana.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
Missouri just did, is taking off. And Oregon has been a part of GOGI for years. So as long as you're willing to follow a calendar, follow the manual, it's not about good or bad or right or wrong. It's about let's grow together. I work in the mailroom. If you have questions about running the group, you can always send me a letter. Be like, hey, we wondered about this. Like, what if there's 5 weeks? Well, we have an answer for that too. We've been doing this for, I've been participating and engaging in GOGI since 2010. And I've lived GOGI ever since. I got out, and within a week, I was working in the mailroom. I was volunteering.
I remember that. You said when I saw you at CTF in California Correctional Rehabilitation Center, or wherever it is, in Soledad. In any case, you said make room in the mailroom because I'm going to be there, and I'm a man of my word. You're now running the mailroom, and now you're collaborating with a lot of different organizations to allow them to utilize the GOGI meeting format, and you helped with the GOGI recovery meeting. Why don't you speak to that for a second? We have just a few minutes, and then our time is done, but I'd love them to hear that the recovery meeting is also available.
Yeah, so one is somebody who's dealt with addiction and is in recovery from alcohol, drugs, gangs, criminal behavior. Those experiences really benefit others while we're in there as well as while we're out here. So me and Coach Taylor got together and we worked on a recovery book, including the GOGI tools. And it's just my experience. One is working as an alcohol and drug counselor for the first 5 years that I was out. Some of the experiences I've had, some of the experiences I had as an addict, like what has worked for me, what has been beneficial to my recovery, what keeps me sober, and the work that I've done as an alcohol and drug counselor. So we were able to put that together, and it's something that we also offer. And there's a workbook that, if you're looking to get into addiction counseling, that's one way that while you're in there that you could really start working on and start making it your own. And the other thing is once you get out, there's an opportunity. Yeah, so on your way to coach status, we are now offering something called GREP Facilitator Certification. And what that is that being out here, like I've identified, that sometimes finding a job, and if you're a little older like me, instruction isn't always your best move. So facilitating is something that most of us really do in prison, and we do well. And there's a big need for that out here. Oftentimes people get out and they're like, I want to get certified. And then they have a job and a relationship and kids and grandkids, and the time isn't there to get certified while they're out here working a job. So what happens is if you are able to acquire this GREP certification, what happens is you get out with a certificate saying that you are a GREP certified facilitator. And if you can go to a job, you're almost, I don't want to say almost guaranteed, but almost guaranteed.
It's a very valuable line on the resume.
Yeah, and GOGI is really, really respected, and people love GOGI because they know it works. And when you walk into a job interview and you show this certificate and you know the language and you're sharing experiences of how GOGI can help their institution, everybody's going to want that. Everybody's going to want facility assistance with the people that they have at the facility.
I think all I have to say is if you have GOGI at your institution and you're on a long, long wait list, you could wait years to get into GOGI. That's just the fact of the matter. But you don't have to wait at all to start a circle group. It could be just you and a friend, and it will grow from there. And the point is get yourself these tools get comfortable with facilitating these. Go for the GREP status, go for coach status if you can, but don't wait. Regardless of whether there is a GOGI meeting that you can hop into, you can create it. Just you and a friend, you and a couple of friends. And like Coach Johnny did, sitting on laundry buckets underneath the stairwell, there is no limitations. It's all available to you.
And I really want to encourage them, Coach, to start with the My Life story.
Oh, yes,
if you
for sure.
Again, GOGI, make sure that you can write the mailroom. Say, look, I would love to start GOGI, and we'll send you a My Life story. Once that's submitted, then we'll send you a mini book, and then we'll continue to work on donors to contribute and support you through your GOGI journey.
We're so happy that you joined us for this little module. Of course, there's some questions to fill out just to make sure you know what we want you to know, and we've been happy to have you here. Coach Johnny, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I. GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I. GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I. GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. G-O-G-I, G-O-G-I. GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by.